Picture this. You wake up in your lunar habitat, step outside, and see Earth hanging like a blue marble in the star-filled sky above you. It sounds like the ultimate dream, doesn't it? Humanity's greatest adventure, becoming a multiplanetary species by colonizing our nearest celestial neighbor. But here's what NASA doesn't tell you in those glossy promotional videos. Living on the moon isn't just challenging, it's a daily battle against forces specifically designed to kill human beings. The radiation alone would give you cancer within months. The low gravity would destroy your bones and cardiovascular system. And that's just the beginning of a nightmare list that would make even the most optimistic space enthusiast question whether we're truly meant to leave Earth. Yet despite these terrifying realities, space agencies around the world are spending billions of dollars preparing for permanent lunar settlements. Why? Because they know something that might surprise you. With the right technology and preparation, not only is living on the moon possible, but it might be absolutely essential for humanity's survival. And the solutions they're developing are so ingenious, so revolutionary, that they're going to change life on Earth forever. Let's start with the harsh truth about what the moon is actually trying to do to your body every single second you're there. The lunar environment is essentially a cosmic torture chamber specifically designed to eliminate human life. First, there's the radiation. Without Earth's protective magnetic field and thick atmosphere, the moon's surface is constantly bombarded by deadly cosmic rays and solar radiation. We're talking about radiation levels 200 times higher than what you experience on Earth. To put this in perspective, spending just 6 months on the lunar surface without proper shielding would expose you to the same amount of radiation as receiving 1,000 chest X-rays every single day. This isn't just about getting a sunburn. This level of radiation systematically destroys your DNA, causing rapid cellular damage that leads to cancer, cataracts, and complete immune system collapse. Astronauts on the International Space Station, which is partially protected by Earth's magnetic field, already show significant DNA damage after just 6 months in space. On the moon, this process would accelerate dramatically. But radiation is just the opening act. The temperature variations on the moon are absolutely brutal. During the 14-day lunar day, surface temperatures soar to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to boil water. During the equally long lunar night, temperatures plummet to minus 410 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than liquid nitrogen. These aren't gradual seasonal changes, they're extreme temperature swings that would instantly kill any unprotected human. The lack of atmosphere creates another deadly problem, the constant threat of micrometeorite impacts. On Earth, our atmosphere burns up millions of tiny space rocks every day. On the moon, these micrometeorites hit the surface at velocities of up to 45,000 miles per hour. Even a grain of sand moving at that speed becomes a lethal projectile that could puncture a spacesuit or habitat. Now let's talk about something that seems like it would be fun, but is actually one of the most insidious threats to human health: the moon's low gravity. At just 16.5% of Earth's gravity, moving around on the moon might feel like you're bouncing around in a playground. But your body interprets this as a medical emergency. Within days of arriving on the moon, your cardiovascular system begins to deteriorate. Your heart, no longer working against Earth's gravity, starts to weaken like any unused muscle. Blood begins to pool in your upper body, causing your face to swell while your legs shrink. This isn't just cosmetic. It's a sign that your entire circulatory system is breaking down. Your bones face an even worse fate. In Earth's gravity, your bones are constantly stressed by the simple act of standing and walking, which keeps them strong and dense. In lunar gravity, this stress disappears, and your bones begin to dissolve themselves. Astronauts on the International Space Station lose about 1% of their bone density every month. On the moon, this process would be even more severe. After just 1 year on the moon, your bones would be so brittle that a simple fall could cause multiple fractures. Your spine would compress, making you literally shorter. The calcium leaching from your bones would increase your risk of kidney stones and could even cause dangerous calcium deposits in your soft tissues. Your muscles would waste away with shocking speed. Without the constant resistance of Earth's gravity, muscle mass decreases by up to 20% within just 2 weeks. Your legs, no longer needed to support your full body weight, would become stick thin. More critically, your heart muscle would shrink, potentially causing fatal cardiac problems if you ever tried to return to Earth's gravity. The mental health challenges of lunar living are perhaps even more terrifying than the physical ones. Imagine spending months in a cramped habitat with the same few people, knowing that Earth is 250,000 miles away and that any rescue mission would take at least 3 days to reach you. If it could launch at all, the isolation would be absolute. Unlike Antarctic research stations, which can receive supply drops and emergency evacuations, lunar colonists would be truly on their own. The psychological term for this is Earth out of view phenomenon, and it's already been observed in astronauts who travel to the far side of the moon. The simple act of not being able to see Earth in the sky triggers profound feelings of disconnection and existential dread. The sensory deprivation would be overwhelming. There's no weather, no seasons, no natural sounds except the mechanical hum of life support systems. The sky is always black, dotted with unmoving stars. The landscape never changes, just endless gray dust and rocks stretching to the horizon. Many psychologists believe that the complete absence of natural environmental variation would cause severe depression and possibly psychosis. Sleep would become nearly impossible. The moon's day-night cycle lasts 29.5 Earth days, meaning you'd experience 2 weeks of continuous sunlight followed by 2 weeks of total darkness. Your circadian rhythms, evolved over millions of years to match Earth's 24-hour cycle, would be completely disrupted. Chronic sleep deprivation would compound all the other physical and mental health problems. The constant awareness of danger would create chronic stress that could literally kill you. Every moment, you'd know that you're separated from the vacuum of space by just a few inches of metal and plastic. A single equipment failure, a tiny hole in your habitat, or a mistake in your life support systems could mean death within minutes. This level of constant vigilance would exhaust your psychological resources and could lead to panic disorders or complete mental breakdown. Despite all these challenges, the technology being developed to enable lunar living is absolutely revolutionary. The solutions are so advanced, so ingenious, that they read like science fiction, but they're very real and being tested right now. Radiation shielding is being solved through a combination of innovative materials and clever design. Scientists have developed ultra-lightweight composite materials that can block cosmic radiation while being light enough to transport to the moon economically. Even more ingeniously, they're planning to use the moon's own resources, building habitats partially underground and covering them with lunar regolith, which provides excellent radiation protection. Some of the most advanced designs involve inflatable habitats with multi-layered radiation shielding. These structures can be compressed for transport and then expanded on the lunar surface, creating living spaces the size of multi-story buildings. The outer layers contain hydrogen-rich polymers that are particularly effective at stopping cosmic rays. For the gravity problem, scientists are developing revolutionary countermeasures. Centrifuge sleeping pods would spin at night, creating artificial gravity to help maintain bone density and cardiovascular health. Advanced resistance exercise equipment, far more sophisticated than current space station versions, would provide the mechanical stress needed to keep bones and muscles healthy. The most exciting development is closed-loop life support systems that approach 99% efficiency. These systems can recycle air, water, and even human waste with such precision that almost nothing is lost. Advanced CO2 scrubbers use cutting-edge molecular sieves, while water recycling systems can turn urine and humidity into drinking water purer than most tap water on Earth. Food production is being revolutionized through advanced hydroponic and aeroponic systems designed specifically for low gravity and controlled environments. These systems can produce fresh vegetables and even protein sources using minimal water and nutrients. Some experimental systems can grow food in 90% less space than traditional agriculture, while producing 30% more nutrition per plant. Here's where lunar colonization becomes not just possible, but potentially incredibly profitable. The moon is essentially a treasure trove of resources that are incredibly valuable, both for sustaining lunar colonies and for Earth's economy. Water ice discovered in permanently shadowed craters at the lunar poles is worth more than gold in space. This water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen, rocket fuel and breathing air. A single large ice deposit could fuel thousands of missions between Earth and the Moon, making space travel dramatically cheaper and more sustainable. The Moon's regolith, that gray dust covering the surface, is actually an incredibly valuable resource. It contains oxygen-bound minerals, silicon for solar panels and computer chips, and rare earth elements essential for advanced technology. Most excitingly, it contains helium-3, an isotope that's incredibly rare on Earth, but could revolutionize fusion energy. Helium-3 fusion produces enormous amounts of clean energy without radioactive waste. Just 25 tons of helium-3 could power the entire United States for a year. The Moon's surface contains an estimated 1 million tons of helium-3, potentially worth trillions of dollars and capable of solving Earth's energy crisis forever. The low gravity and lack of atmosphere make the Moon an ideal manufacturing location for certain products. Solar panels can be built much larger and more efficiently in lunar gravity. Semiconductors and crystals can be grown with perfect uniformity in the Moon's vacuum environment. Some materials that are impossible to manufacture on Earth could be easily produced on the Moon. The lunar settlements being planned today are far more sophisticated than the temporary research stations most people imagine. These would be permanent cities designed to house thousands of people across multiple generations. The most advanced designs feature interconnected domed habitats built into lunar craters for natural protection. These habitats would have Earth-normal atmospheric pressure and carefully controlled climates that could support not just survival, but comfortable living. Artificial lighting systems would simulate Earth's day-night cycle, helping maintain normal human circadian rhythms. Transportation between habitats would occur through pressurized tunnels or underground transit systems. The settlements would be designed with redundant life support systems, multiple backup power sources, and emergency protocols that could sustain the population even during major system failures. Agriculture domes would produce not just basic nutrition, but foods that provide psychological comfort. Fresh fruits, vegetables, and even luxury items like coffee and chocolate. Advanced genetic engineering might even allow for the development of plants specifically adapted to lunar conditions. Manufacturing facilities would produce everything needed for expansion and maintenance of the colonies. 3D printing technology, using lunar materials, could create everything from spare parts to new habitats. The colonies would become increasingly self-sufficient over time, reducing their dependence on Earth. Recreation and cultural facilities would be essential for psychological health. Design plans include gymnasiums adapted for low-gravity sports, art studios, libraries, and even parks with carefully maintained earth plants. The goal is to create not just survival conditions, but a quality of life that makes lunar living desirable. The economic implications of successful lunar colonization are staggering. The Moon could become the industrial center of the solar system, taking advantage of its low gravity, abundant raw materials, and lack of environmental regulations. Space-based solar power stations, constructed using lunar materials, could beam clean energy back to Earth via microwave transmission. These stations could be built much larger than anything possible on Earth and would have access to continuous sunlight without atmospheric interference. The Moon would serve as a staging ground for missions to Mars and the asteroid belt. Launching from the Moon requires just a fraction of the energy needed to escape Earth's gravity well. Lunar manufactured spacecraft could explore the outer solar system at a fraction of current costs. Tourism would eventually become a major industry. The unique experiences available on the Moon, Earth views, low-gravity sports, and the ultimate adventure vacation, could attract wealthy tourists willing to pay millions for the experience. Scientific research conducted on the Moon would advance our understanding of astronomy, physics, and biology. The Moon's far side, permanently shielded from Earth's radio interference, would be ideal for radio telescopes that could detect signals from the earliest moments of the universe. Perhaps the most compelling reason for lunar colonization isn't economic or scientific. It's existential. Earth faces numerous threats that could potentially end human civilization. Asteroid impacts, supervolcanic eruptions, nuclear war, climate change, or pandemic diseases. Lunar colonies would serve as a backup for human civilization. If a catastrophic event were to devastate Earth, lunar settlements could preserve human knowledge, culture, and genetic diversity. They could even serve as a base for eventually recolonizing Earth. The technological developments required for lunar living would also benefit Earth. Advanced life support systems could help address environmental challenges. Closed-loop resource recycling could revolutionize sustainability. Medical advances in dealing with low gravity and radiation could improve healthcare. So can humans actually live on the moon? The answer is a resounding yes. But it will require the most advanced technology our species has ever developed, incredible financial investment, and pioneers willing to face dangers that make polar exploration look like a casual stroll. The moon isn't just humanity's next destination, it's our next home. The colonies being planned today will become the cities of tomorrow, populated by people who consider themselves not just human, but lunar citizens. They'll face challenges we can barely imagine, but they'll also have opportunities that could reshape the future of our entire species. Within our lifetimes, we might see the first permanent lunar residents taking their first steps in low gravity, looking up at Earth and knowing they're part of the greatest adventure in human history. The question isn't whether we can live on the moon, it's whether we're brave enough to try. The moon is waiting. Are we ready to call it home?